Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to this webinar in South Europe College. I am Professor Mohammed bin Shukroun, and I am very happy and glad to see all of you today. So, as I have described in my video of introduction, we will have a series of webinars divided into 14 webinars for this semester, and all of them are related to the project management. So for today, we will talk about project management, but in the behavior, in the human behavior part. So the focus and the purpose for today is to give a definition, a need and importance of organizational behavior, nature and scope, framework, organizational behavior models, disciplines that contribute to the OB field, challenges and opportunities for OB. So it's very important when we are a project manager to know what kind of behaviors the people adopt, the people use, the people behave when they are leading a project management. So it's very important for us to know the different type of human behavior, to know the natures, okay, and be able to decipher all of this. So it is something very important that we will try to do together. So what is an organizational behavior? Now let's give a definition. So according to Prasad, organizational behavior can be defined as the study and application of knowledge about human behavior related to other elements of an organization, such as structure, technology, and social systems. So this is a discipline that help us to decipher the human behavior, how human behave within an organization. Also, in words of Aswatapa, organizational behavior is a study of human behavior in organizational setting and of the organization itself. So it's to see the relation and the interrelation between human behavior and the organization, and how they interact and how they interface between themselves. Okay. And also, let's give a third definition. In words of Stephen Robbins, organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and structures have on behavior within organizations for the purpose of applying such knowledge towards improving an organization's effectiveness. So here are the three main definitions of different researchers such as Prasad, Aswatapa, and Robbins. Here is the concept of the organizational behavior. So is a field of study that investigates the impact of individuals, of groups. So this is what we have said. It is a human tool for human benefits. It applies broadly to the behavior of people in all types of organizations, such as business, government, school, and service organization. So whether you are a businessman, whether you work for government, whether you are a teacher or working in schools, in education, or in other services, this field is very important for you. So it covers three determinants of behavior in organizations: individuals, groups, and structures. Okay. So individuals, it's about people. Groups, it's about a multiple type of person working together, and structure is within an organization. So organizational behavior is an applied field, and it applies the knowledge gained about individuals and the effect of structure on behavior in order to make organizations work more effectively. Okay. So before talking about this, we have to distinguish between organization and management. So what is the difference? Organization as a purposeful system with several subsystems where individuals and activities are organized to achieve certain predetermined goals through division of labor and coordination of activities. Division of labor refers to how the work is divided among the employees, and coordination refers to how all the various activities performed by the individuals are integrated or brought together to accomplish the goals of the organization. Management, it refers to the functional process of accomplishing the goals of the organization through the help of others. So a manager is an individual who is given the responsibility for achieving the goals assigned to him or her as part of the overall goals of the organization, and who is expected to get the job done. So this is the main difference between them. Okay, so now we will see that we have different rules of the human behavior within the organization. So we have to rule of understanding human behavior, and directing behavior, and the third role is organizational adaptation. So the human behavior within the organization will help us to understand the human behavior as itself, to understand how they control, how they direct behavior, and how they adapt. So understanding human behavior is within three types of levels. It's within three types of level. The first type is about individual level. So it's help us to know the psychology of the people. So it's about the psychology of the people. And also it's about the social level of the people. And it's about the cultural level of the people. So human behavior will help us to know the psychological, the social, and the cultural parts of the human. The human behavior will also help us to know the interpersonal level, to know the reciprocal relationship, to know the role analysis, and the transactional analysis. And the group level will help us to know the norms, the cohesion, the goals, the procedures, the values, the communication pattern, leadership, and membership. So the human behavior is about three levels: individual, interpersonal, and group level. About understanding human behavior. First one is about the intergroup. So the first is to know the interaction, the rotation of members among group, to know the of win and situation on total group objectives. And the controlling and directing behavior is the use of power and sanction, is to know the leadership, the communication, and the organizational climate. So human behavior is also to know how they interact with the person, and how also human people use power and sanction. Because People are different. People, we have different kind of personalities. Some people can behave in a certain way with power, and other person can have also another type of power uh, uh, utilization, and how they can deploy it. Same with leadership, same with communication, and same with the organizational climates. We have different kind of leadership. We have authoritative leadership, participative leadership, uh, to also to less doing leadership, etc. And this is what we are going to see. Understanding also about the adaptability. It's also something very important. Okay. So about the adaptation, so organization as entities are characterized by uh, uh, pervasive change. Organizations have to adapt themselves to the environmental changes by making suitable internal arrangements. So managers have to face dual problems. First is to identify need for change and then implement the change without adversely affecting the needs for satisfaction of organizational people. So we have four key elements of organizational behavior. So we have people, we have structure, we have technology, and we have environments. So when people join together in organization to accomplish an objective, some kind of infrastructure is required. Very good. People also use technology to help get the job done. So there is an interaction of people, structure, and technology. In addition, these elements are influenced by the external. Let's focus on the people. Very good. The people are individual people to the task allotted to them, so they are here to execute the tasks. A dynamic relationship such as subordinated interaction. So every employee has a line manager, and every manager has a subordinate. Groups who work as a team have the responsibility for getting the job done. And the people outside the organization system, as the government of. Now, let's to the other key element of the organization. So we have now the structure to define a official relationship of people in organizations. So the key concepts of an organization structure are listed as below. We have the hierarchy of authority, we have division of labor, we have span of control, we have specialization, we have standardization, we have formalization, we have the centralization, and we have complexity. So here are the key concepts regarding this structure. We have hierarchy of authority, division of labor, span of control, specialization, standardization, formalization, centralization, and complexity. So the structure on a rigidity to high flexibility. There are two broad categories of organization. Mechanistic form of organization, and we have organic form of organization. And for the organic form of organization, it's divided into jobs and tasks, core job character, task variety, task identity, significance, autonomy, feedback from the job, and job design. And regarding technology and environment, okay, so here are two left key elements, okay. So there is a classification of technology. We have a long link, we have a mediating technology, and we have intensive. So this is the classification of technology. It's very important to know it. We have long linked technology, we have a mediating technology, and we have intensive technology. And about the environment is divided into two distinct of environments. And we have general. So general is the macro environment. Specific is regarding to your closed environment. It's very important to distinguish between these two types because they have different impacts and different purposes. So now let's focus on the, after seeing the different key concept, the key concept or key approaches. No, it's more key concept of the organizational behavior. Now let's talk about the basic approaches. The first approach is called an interdisciplinary approach. The second is called scientific management approach. The third is called a human resources supportive approach. The fourth is called a contingency approach. And the fifth one is called a systems approach. So we have 5 types. Okay. The first one is called an interdisciplinary approach. A human resources supportive approach, a contingency approach, and a systems approach. Here are this. We have here 5 objectives of organizational behavior. The first objective is to analyze different perspective and the potentialities to create and develop the ethical values in organization. This is the first objective. The second is to analyze the potentialities towards the ways and means to conduct and organize the systems, method, and approach for organization development in an organization. Potentialities to develop process, methods, and approaches of formal and informal pattern of organization and society. The fourth one is to analyze how to make perspective and methods and process of effective communication to formulate ethical norms in an organization. And the fifth objective is to analyze various aspects and factors affecting the group cohesiveness. So here are the 5 objectives of organizational behavior. And also we have 5 others. So let's see in 5 seconds. The sixth one is to analyze the ways and means to develop different ethnical aspects for group dynamism. The seventh is to analyze the mutual interest of individual and group. Mutual interest is represented by the statement, organization needs people, and people also need organization. Very interesting. Eighth objective is to analyze and evaluate the role of different key elements like people, structure, technology, interactive, behavior, and environment, etc. The ninth objective is to analyze and evaluate the behavioral approaches in organization. In context of that, all of them are based on art and science. And the tenth is to analyze different aspects of work environment which duly affect the behavioral patterns and attitude of a person. So now let's see the scope of organizational behavior. So as you know, the organizational behavior is divided into three aspects. We have individuals, groups, and the organizational structure, as I said. About the individuals, so we analyze the personality, the leadership, the motivation, and the perception. The groups is the teamwork, the group dynamics, and the cohesion within the group. Because every individual has to work in a group. And each group has to work and to evaluate within organization, and is the mix and is the interaction between these three scopes that creates the organizational behavior and the human behavior within the organization. So individuals impact and the groups impact the organization, and this creates and gives a design of each type of organizational behavior. Is it clear? Is it clear, Ms. Muna? Have any questions?
No, thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Everything is clear.
Now, let's move to see the nature, okay, the nature of the organizational behavior. So the first nature is about a separate field of study and not a discipline only. So it's a field of study and not a discipline. It's an interdisciplinary approach, and it's also an applied approach with a normative science, and also it's a humanistic and optimistic approach, and also it's a total system approach. So what are the characteristics of the organizational behavior? The first characteristic is behavior approach to manage about it's the relation between the behavior to management. The second is a cause and effect relationship. The third is organizational behavior is a branch of social science. The fourth is 3 levels of analysis. Fifth is a science as well as an art. Sixth, a body of theory, research, and application. The seventh is a beneficial to both organization and individuals. And eighth is a rational thinking. What are the challenges of organization? So we have 6. It's very important to know that we have 6 challenges of organizational behavior. Okay, so we have here 6 challenges of organizational behavior. The first challenge is globalization. The second challenge is the management of workforce diversity. The third challenge is movement in quality and productivity. The fourth one is improvement in people skills. The fifth one is incorporation of innovation. The sixth one is incorporation of work-life balance. It's a balance between life, personal life, hobbies, families, and work means in our professional career. And it's very important to incorporate this balance. So about the challenges and opportunities. So we have environmental challenge. We have improving people skills. We have improving quality and productivity. And the key dimensions of quality are performance, features, the conformance, the reliability, the durability, services, response, aesthetics, and reputation. So here are the 9 key dimensions of quality. The challenges and opportunities also is about how the organizational behavior responds to globalization, regarding the diversified workforce, understanding the culture of local people, empowering people, coping with the temporariness, and also stimulating innovation and changes. So we already have given the definition. Here now let's see the model of human behavior. That's also very important to see the different types of leadership. So we have autocratic, we have custodial, we have supportive, and we have collegial. Collegial is participative, supportive is paternalistic, custodial means directive, and autocratic means leadership of authority, with high level of authority by giving only instructions. So here are the different model of collegial. So let's give a definition of each model. So what is autocratic model? Means that the manager uses authorities and direct the subordinate to do work as per his specification by his given instructions. So they are not participated to give. They are not allowed to. They are not participative into the decision making. So the people are here to execute the orders. So the subordinates are not given freedom to act. They have to carry out the task faithfully as per their boss's instructions. The employees are made to work like machines. The use of such an approach may not always give the manager the desired results. Employees' physical and mental health gets affected. And it reminds us the Taylorism and the Fordism management. So I think this autocratic model is very outdated, and they are not. And nowadays, only few on the rare company or failed companies they adopt such kind of model of management. However, what is custodial and supportive? So this is what are we going to see. So employees has to depend on the organization. So the organization takes care of all the needs of the employees, like rent-free accommodation, free education for his children, food, and so on. Under this approach, the employee is happy as the organization satisfies his needs, but there will be no guarantee that his performance level will be high. So as I said, it's really paternalistic model. So the company, the organization carries of everything. So the employee is very happy because he's covered, he feels safe, but there's no guarantee that the performance will be high because there is no stimulation into working highly, working with productively, because there is less pressure and less ambition, because everything is already given from the organization to the employee. Everything is given by the organization to the employees. However, the supportive model, the manager supports his subordinates in the performance of the task. So the focus here is managerial leadership. Means that the manager does not make decision, but involves in his subordinate in the decision-making process. This model is okay. So do I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. So now let's talking about the supportive model. So the supportive model is a kind of participative model, means that the employees have the right to be involved into the decision making. So you give importance to the employees, so the employees feel themselves valued, they feel themselves considered, and it's an additional motivation. Moreover, such kind of a model is suitable to the high qualified people and the self-motivated. For example, in consulting, in education, also it's fit to high qualified and self-disciplined people. And the last one is called a collegial model. So what is a collegial model? So the collegial model is there is no difference between manager and subordinates. They all work as a team, and every decision they make, we need to get agreement of all the employees. So the manager participates in the process of tasks performed by subordinates. There is better interaction among team members. So the subordinate doesn't feel the difference between manager and himself, and is able to be self-disciplined, self-motivated, and it gives very high level importance. And this is the latest human interaction, human behavior that people really use. So this is the comparison of 4 models of organizational behavior. The conclusion, we can say that we have seen that the organizational behavior is very important because it's a field of study. Is a field of study that analyze and decipher the human behavior within the organization. And we have seen that the impact, the key characteristic of the human behavior, of the organizational behavior is individual, and also is about the groups, and it's about the organization. So the individuals is related to the personality, leadership, motivation, and they impact the groups. And the group is about the cohesion who impact the organization as a whole. And this gives a scope and a shape of the organizational behavior. We have seen that we have different types. There are different goals, different characteristics, different scope of organizational behavior, and different model of leadership. We have autocratic. We have also. So as I said, we have autocratic, we have custodial, and the supportive, and also the collegial, and each one has its own characteristic and specification. So thank you so much. I hope that you have really enjoyed this webinar. I hope that it was instructive. Please please be free to give me your feedback. I will be glad to answer to all of your questions and clarification. So it was a nice pleasure. Once again, thank you. I'm Professor Mohammed Benshkroun from South Europe College. It was nice to see you, to meet you, and see you inshallah next week.